Hello everyone, welcome to Dottin Burst. Welcome back to my journey through self-discovery, diamond painting, and just exploring topics, questions, discussion related to personal growth. Feel welcome to use this in any way that works for you for personal growth, entertainment, background noise, anything that really interests you about this. I appreciate any support. And also, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you are returning, thank you so much for returning, and I look forward to connecting with you if you leave comments. Do leave comments if you guys feel inspired to. Anything that sparks a discussion or anything that you want to ask about during the video, feel welcome to drop a comment. And also, you can tell me what you have done using Dottin Bursts. The content itself right now today, we are going to be doing part 2 of the self-discovery journey questions with diamond painting. They're kind of like not a get to know you so much as an introspective on how diamond painting has affected my life, and feel welcome to use them in your journals or your videos or however you want to, if you want to answer them yourself. And also, again, post them in the comment if you want to leave comments and tell me your responses. Let's dive right into it. I guess we can get with my tools. This is a pen from Creations Dobell. I had asked them to do a nice thin turn for me. I love it. It's beautiful. My tools are always a little dirty, so I've got some wax stuck to it, but that's okay. We'll clean that up later. I've got a single placer from DAC on this end, and in it I use Tack It over and over from Eileen's Craft glue. You just top it up. You fill it first, let it dry for 24 hours, and then top it up as needed, letting it dry as needed. And it stays really sticky. I haven't even topped this up for I don't know, almost a week now. It stays really, really sticky. In this end, I have a 10 multiplacer from DAC, Diamond Art Club, and I have putty that I have made myself. This is putty. If you do make putty yourself, I know a lot of people talk about making putty using cornstarch. I recommend using arrowroot powder. It just worked a lot better for me. The scent that I have here is lemon Earl Grey tea. However, it's not very scented anymore. If I make it again, I would definitely add more scent to it. And then I just have other tools like tweezers. You might see that I pull out this pen later on. This is from Diamond Pen Pal with a 7 placer and a single placer. I do like this pen a lot too. I haven't used it so much in the last week, but I will probably be using it again very shortly. I also have a release paper. Sometimes I like to put a release paper down so that my hand doesn't get on the sticky parts if I'm resting my tray or my hand. It just helps a lot. It preserves the glue and removing the oils. It doesn't remove the glue using the oils of your skin so much anymore. So let's get into the questions. We did part 1 before, so you can go back and watch part 1 and check out those questions. There are some really good questions. I thought I had a really good discussion with myself about some of them. And so let's get into part 2. The first question today is, how has my attention span changed since I started? So I assume that they mean since I started diamond painting. And in general. So my attention span is getting pretty good. I come from being heavily screen addicted, and diamond painting gives me that time away from screens where I have to put some more, hold on one second. I gotta put a static sheet in here. There we go. So diamond painting gives me that time away from screens. I'm not refreshing Facebook. I'm not refreshing Reddit. I'm not scrolling through Discord looking for conversation. I'm not browsing on Instagram for all the newest reels and content and pictures and stuff. That's pretty much my pattern. And it takes me away from that. It breaks the cycle a little bit, and it gives me something beautiful to work with. So my attention span is getting better. I can spend longer working on diamond paintings than I used to. And I work differently than I used to. It's not so obsessive. It's more methodical, I think. And it's relaxing and mindful. And I do some meditation and mindful work. And also, I do find that my patience has increased. And so, yeah, that's kind of all about my attention span. I can definitely focus on diamond painting a lot longer than I used to in healthier ways. What habits or routines around diamond painting have become sacred to me? Well, I think right now I'm on this table that let me just kind of fix this right here. I'm having some drill problems. There we go. Okay, so I'm on this table. It's an overbed table. I plan on I'm working on at my regular workspace again soon. But right now there's a lot of stuff under the desk being stored, and I have to move that stuff somewhere else first so that I have leg room. And in the meantime, I'm on this overbed table. So my ritual is kind of that when I start diamond painting, I bring the table out because I push it aside. I push it to the side of the room when I'm not using it. And I will plug in my my ring light. This is a ring light, the black thing right here. And then I'll plug in my light pad because the light pad just stays under the canvas. I unplug it every time I move the table across the room. And then sorry, I almost had an accident. And then I'll plug in the light pad, plug in the ring light, and then I just start diamond painting. It's so easy. And I think making it easy for yourself is the easiest thing you can do to get a lot of diamond painting in, if that's your goal. And I think that it takes a lot of the stress out of it. So that's my routine. And then when I'm done diamond painting, I unplug the light pad. I turn the light pad off. I unplug the light pad. And then I unplug the ring light. And I just push the table to the side. And it's so easy. It's so simple. I've made it so simple for myself. And I'm actually a little proud of myself for that. That's my biggest ritual, is just preparing the diamond painting space. And it only takes a couple minutes. And Any other rituals? Not really. I don't prepare tea or anything. I'm severely fluid restricted because of my kidneys and dialysis. However, I would drink tea if I could drink a lot more fluid. That sounds actually really wonderful right now. Or even coffee. It sounds wonderful too. Having a coffee to go along with your diamond painting would be cool. That's really about it. I don't really have any rituals. I guess one ritual right now for this canvas, when I open a section, I put glue down. I use my Make Market diamond painting glue because I really like a nice thick glue. And often I find that I'm gluing the canvases these days just to get that nice sticky feeling. And that's about it. That's about all my rituals. I don't really have anything else. So. What's the hardest period of life I painted through? Well, I've talked about my recovery from being in the hospital and with kidney failure, getting back on my feet after that. But the hardest period before that was before that. Probably in 2024, and I've only been diamond painting since 2023, but the hardest period was probably 2024 when I was very ill and getting ill, just getting sicker and sicker and not sure how to get better, and not receiving a treatment plan or anything like that. And diamond painting through that was really hard because I tried to, keep normalcy where I was still productive and creating content. I was streaming on Twitch and I was making YouTube videos, and trying to keep a normalcy around that was not easy. I was trying to run a business. I was trying to run a business where I diamond painted and sold completed diamond paintings, as well as where I would hand render diamond paintings for people. And it just was a lot of a lotness. And I was sick at the time. So I was very ill. I was not only mentally ill, but just physically ill to an extreme that I can't even explain. I can't even explain how ill I was. You just had to see it. You just had to see the state of my body and everything like that. Like at one point I weighed 500 pounds and it was all mostly, like I was overweight, yes, but it was all from excess fluid because my kidneys were not properly working. And I was also having lymphedema really badly. And it was very uncomfortable. I didn't even have shoes that fit me. So I wore size 11 men's Crocs, the same pair for about 5 or 6 years, because they were the only ones that would fit me. And I had to have something for my feet. And that was really awful. It was just a really disturbing period of my life. And I'm so happy to have moved beyond it. And I'm so grateful to be alive today. Because there's many times where I thought my life was truly over. I just noticed I missed a spot with number 950. Yeah, number 50. I missed some right here. So we're gonna do those really quick. And so the healing was difficult, but it is hopeful. But before that, I had no hope, and it was really difficult to continue on. What emotions do I avoid until I sit down and paint? I don't really know. I try to let my emotions flow. I try to just, be emotional. I try to, if something's bothering me, I don't like to hold it in. I like to process it. And I guess a lot of the times processing it doesn't really happen until I sit down and do something quiet and mindful like diamond painting. Because it gives me that opportunity to sit with myself and my thoughts. I thought I saw another one. Oh, here we go. Boop. And so that's really all I have for that question. It's a hard question. What emotions do I avoid until I sit down and paint? That's a hard question, and I'll have to maybe come back to that one. Have I ever judged myself for spending so much time on this hobby? Well, definitely. But I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because it's perfectly acceptable to have a hobby that encompasses your free time. It's perfectly acceptable to be passionate about things. It's perfectly acceptable to spend time doing what you love. So I'm not really judging myself in a shameful way. It's more I judge myself geez, I avoided responsibilities and I diamond painted through them instead of, doing the laundry properly or something like that. And it's we gotta snap out of that. We can do laundry and diamond paint, So that's just kind of how I am sometimes. I'm tired today. I've been really tired lately. I don't really have room in my fluid plan for coffee or anything today. So, why do I think creative hobbies are sometimes misunderstood by others? Well, maybe because people don't enjoy something and they just judge you. I don't think it's even judgment. It's just that they don't vibe that way. They prefer to do another thing. They dance to a different beat of a different drum. And that's okay too, but they might not have time to understand the passion and the details of the hobby. And that's perfectly acceptable. I have no idea the details of building Gundam models, for example, or model cars, or collecting Hot Wheels or anything. I can admire it, but I don't have the knowledge. I wouldn't know one car from another car or one Gundam from another Gundam. And that is, even Lego. I don't do Lego, but it's not that I dislike it. And I think some people misunderstand that you can admire something without liking it or having to participate. What assumptions do people make about diamond painting that frustrate me? One that I made very early on myself, I made a... Why is there a drill there? There's not supposed to be a drill there. We're about to do this color, and there was already a drill placed on the spot. So one assumption I made very early on when I heard about diamond painting was that diamond painting is just paint by numbers. It's just paint by numbers. No point in doing diamond painting. I literally brushed it off as just a different type of paint by number. Little did I know that I would become very passionate about it. Little did I know that it was very beautiful, that the artwork is stunning, that there's so many benefits and wonderful things about diamond painting that would just become part of my life. So, I feel bad that I gave it such a harsh judgment at first. I truly did. I was like, I'm never diamond painting. I'm not even going to spend money on this craft because I get advertised to, in the crafty algorithm, you get advertised different crafts and hobby kits and stuff like that. And somewhere along the line, I started getting diamond painting kits. This was before I started diamond painting. And yeah, I just never thought it would be me. And then I boredom took over one day. And I was like, well, the only thing left to do is diamond paint. And I diamond painted. And I loved it. I immediately loved it. So it didn't take me long to reformulate my judgments and assumptions. Have I ever felt embarrassed about loving this hobby? Not really. I guess sometimes it gets a little confusing between art and crafting. And it's like, it's not really art for a crafter to do a craft kit, but it involves art. And for me, there was a little bit of ambiguity when I was putting myself into a category on Twitch, when I was streaming diamond painting. But that's all been resolved now. I usually use makers and crafting category, or I use the new diamond painting category. So that works too. And I would never call a diamond painting my art unless I actually was the artist who created the original artwork, which might happen someday. Not for a commercial kit, but I might do like a kind of like a cross-stitch conversion type thing using my own personal artwork. Anyways, I wish I had a drink. I just need a sip. How would I say, or what would I say to someone who thinks diamond painting is pointless? Well, c'est la vie, go do your thing. There's a million different flavors in this life. And what is meant for me might not be meant for you, but you can definitely find something that you want to go and do. And I hope that you do it. I hope that you do it well. I hope you do it with passion. I hope you enjoy your time doing it. And that's really all I would say to them. And they can share my space, they can share my thoughts and opinions and in different ways, and they can even contribute positively towards my own growth still. They don't have to be immediately like, oh, they're not a diamond painter, they don't belong in my craft circle or my life or my, you know, that sort of thing. Anyways, how do I define creativity now? Man, I think creativity is just using your brain power and thinking outside the box. And you can really kind of do whatever you want. Creativity is so unique. You can pretty much call anything creative. And if you feel like I would hope that creativity is positive. Art therapy has a place. Paint by numbers have a place. Actually, I have tried painting acrylic paint by numbers, and I also found I enjoyed that too. So, you know, I definitely shouldn't judge. I definitely shouldn't judge crafts as crafts that I wouldn't do, because man, I've got an open mind usually. And I try to open it even more these days. But yeah, I think creativity can be anything that you really, you know, that's like saying like, oh, I'm not an artist. I'm having sticky drill problems today. I keep finding random drills everywhere. But you know, someone saying, oh, I'm not creative, I'm not an artist. Well, even if you don't make paintings or something like that, maybe you start a planner, maybe you start writing poetry in the notes of your textbook or something. Like, those sorts of things are creative activities too. Cooking is highly creative, even if you're just following a recipe, but especially if you really get in there and season things with like your own sort of spice blends. Like, you know, oh, this recipe calls for 2 cloves of garlic. Well, I want to put in 7 cloves of garlic. Well, that's creative. Go and do that, because that's going to be, not only is that going to be delicious, hopefully, but it's fun to do. You know, maybe chopping the garlic is something you really like to do. And actually using those garlic peelers and pushing them through the garlic, like the garlic press, is actually kind of fun too. But, you know, cooking is really creative too. And I know a lot of people who say they're not creative, but they're amazing chefs. And I think that's just almost hilarious that they haven't put those together. So, what does rest look like for me? And how does diamond painting count as rest? Diamond painting doesn't really count as rest for me. I might be in a mindful state when I diamond paint sometimes, but my body is not resting. Rest to me is being in my bed and actually resting. And I say that because my body has extreme health issues in it a little bit. And I definitely need my sleep. I need my naps. I need my real rest. And if I diamond paint and consider it rest, I'm going to be exhausted later. So I can't consider diamond painting as resting. It's actually an active state in my life. What have I learned about discipline through large canvases? I think little by little things add up. That's what I've learned. Even if you can only do 10 minutes, it'll add up. It's not steps backwards, it's steps forward. Everything is cumulative. And I think that's really about all that I have for that. You gotta stick with them. I haven't thankfully done a canvas that I didn't enjoy and is still a whip. The only canvas that I really struggled with, I did finish. And it's over. So I try to hope that I don't have that problem again. But if I do, I'll tackle it intelligently as I can process. How has my relationship with boredom changed? Well, honestly, I don't get bored very often. And usually if I'm bored and I feel bored, there's usually something else that's wrong. There's something that's going on that is stressing me out, that I'm avoiding, something like that. There's usually a reason for my boredom. So I don't really get quote unquote bored. There's so many activities that I have to do that I enjoy. Especially, I can always diamond paint. And I don't find diamond painting boring. So that's cool. What does my collection of finished paintings say about my life journey? I think that it says I'm eclectic. I have a rather eclectic collection. I can't pin down any style, except I do have a lot of landscapes. If I had a certain style of painting that is more prevalent in my collection and stash than anything else, it is landscapes. And you're probably going to be seeing a lot of landscapes from me soon. But I really enjoy that. I find them to be beautiful scenes. They kind of are like a window if I hang them in my apartment. I just love that. So, I don't really have... There's one canvas I have that I have never traveled extensively. I have a Mediterranean canvas. I've never been to the Mediterranean. I have a beach canvas. I've never really been to a beach. I've been to the Gulf of Mexico, but the beach canvas I have is more of like a coastal beach, you know. I've been to lake beaches. There's one canvas in particular that I have in my stash. And it's like kind of like a terrace with like a bunch of like beautiful vines growing around it. And to me, it reminds me of Teldrassil, which is part of my life journey. I played World of Warcraft for a really long time, and I bought the canvas because it reminded me of Teldrassil, and I don't play World of Warcraft anymore. But I really am looking forward to doing that canvas because it's going to be beautiful. And it's not actually Teldrassil. It's not even a related World of Warcraft canvas. But when it comes out, I hope I can do an unboxing or a post review and talk about that, because I want to show it off and talk about my experience with that too. Is there a piece I'll probably never forget, and why? Possibly. I think there was one piece I did. It's a partial butterfly. And I did it when I was in the hospital. When I was in 2024. I spent time in the hospital in 2024 several times because of infection. That wasn't sepsis, but it was infection. And I ordered a canvas through Instacart, and I kitted it up in the hospital, and I had to buy washi tape and everything like that too. And all the nurses were like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?" And it was so interesting that they were interested in it, but more so just that I had that experience of like being in the hospital, not having anything to do. My iPhone had died. I didn't have a charger. And I was very uncomfortable because I couldn't lay in the bed. So I just diamond painted. And I had to be there for about 10 days. And I worked on my diamond painting and kitting and everything like that. But it wasn't until the last few days that I had the kit. It took me that long to get that board. It wasn't until my iPod or my iPhone died and I couldn't charge it anymore that I was like, I have to get something. So I used the remaining battery power and got a kit. And then my family came. Because my family was busy. They were on holiday or something. I think they were camping or something. And they couldn't come immediately to the hospital to support me or to be company or anything. Anyways, 2024 was such a weird year. I was in the hospital about 3 times, and then I was in the hospital the final time when I got really ill and had sepsis and was in there for 2 months because my kidneys shut down. Let's see. What kind of emotions or themes am I naturally drawn to in the artwork I choose? I think landscape, but fantasy landscape. To me, they're fantasy landscapes. They don't seem like places I've traveled, but they're beautiful scenes of places that I would like to daydream about and have hanging on my wall so that I could daydream. That's really about it. I usually buy canvases with the intent to hang them. Like, all my canvases get hung. As long as I have space, they're getting hanged. Hung, whatever. And yeah. How has diamond painting affected my mental health? Oh, positively. Definitely positive. I was actually talking to my therapist about this yesterday. She thinks diamond painting is great for me. And obviously I agree. We talked about how there's no denying the positive benefits. on mental health from diamond painting and the mindfulness that it brings. And just the opportunity, like I've mentioned, how I can sit and process thoughts while diamond painting. It's time well spent. Believe it or not, to some people, it is time well spent. And I will stand on that soapbox forever. What boundaries or self-care habits have this hobby helped me build? Ooh, that's a good question. Well, creating content, you have to have certain boundaries, but also it's helped me realize that I had boundaries that I didn't need, and I was able to loosen some of them too. I don't really want to go into details on that, but it's been positive. And I also feel like the self-care, I can do my self-care because I'm creating content. I need to keep my body clean. I can't just sit around and have a 2-week depression shower every 2 weeks, because that is not very conducive to content creation if you're supposed to be, visually appearing to be what number is this? 60? Oh, good. Sorry, I thought I did the wrong number. If you're not visually appearing, but like if you're showing up in public, you have to look hygienically normal or good. And I think that's been very positive for me, because I used to be very prone to being very slobbish. I can still get that way very easily. And things like creating content with the diamond painting really helped keep me going. I have a lot of things in my life now that I leave the house for. So it's all very positive. It all actually helps me a lot, because if I just sit around home and I'm unemployed, not working, just kind of diamond painting, I guess. This is before diamond painting. But, if I'm just sitting around home unemployed, not leaving the house except for maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks, like, I would get in this habit where I just wouldn't shower. I would back up all my laundry. I didn't want to have any responsibility. I would order food in, stuff like that. And it's just terrible. So diamond painting kind of keeps me rolling along. Have I ever felt genuinely proud of myself because of a painting? Absolutely. I think every painting I feel a little sense of pride from, because it's an accomplishment. They're all an accomplishment for sticking with it and doing the job and getting those drills down, even if they're small paintings. What insecurities show up for me when creating? Well, sometimes I think about how this is an embarrassment, actually. So I'm not a big content creator. I have 120-ish subs on YouTube. I have about 400 followers on Instagram. I have about 200 followers on Twitch. I'm just not a big content creator in terms of having a large following. I think these are 2 different colors, but I don't really care. Anyways, I think I mixed my drills up. That's okay though. I'm not embarrassed that I don't have followers, but I'm embarrassed that sometimes I want more. Like, I'm happy, but I don't really want more. You know, like, I want more, but I don't want more. I don't know how to explain it. And that's where the embarrassment comes from. Because it's like, I have goals where I want to grow, but I want to grow through people enjoying my content. I want to grow from people not just following me because they know me or something like that. So I'm just kind of looking where sometimes I feel like my content doesn't connect, but people are supporting me because they really want to support me. And that's beautiful. That's beautiful. But I feel like because I don't have a lot of engagement, I guess maybe it is. I don't know. It's just, it's embarrassing for me. I also recognize that if I was creating and like 400 people came in the room right now to watch me diamond paint, that's friggin' enormous. So, I don't know. Like, I'm not monetized on YouTube because you need about 1,000 followers. And that's okay. I don't need to be monetized on YouTube because along with that comes a lot of responsibilities that are an upgrade to my current status on YouTube. And maybe my content isn't there yet. And that's okay too. I'm growing. And I need to be proud of that instead of embarrassed. So, what does enough mean to me in art and in life? I think having a satisfaction feel. Just feeling satisfied. But it's hard when you have things like hyperfixation, tendencies in your mental illness, because satisfaction and hyperfixation often do not coincide. Hyperfixation for me is like, I want more of this. I want more of this. I need more of this. I can't stop until I get more of this. And that is really hard for me to deal with, especially when the feelings go away. And if I have indulged and surrounded myself with, you know, say I bought 100 items of diamond painting kits, which I haven't ever done that at one time. I've never even owned 100 kits before, but just, it could be really easy for me to get out of control like that sometimes when I'm hyperfixated on something. And I think that enough to me is when I'm just satisfied, and I'm happy to be just satisfied with what I have, with what I'm doing, without having that hyperfixation feeling, because hyperfixation feelings are also they're very manic feeling. I'm also prone to having manic episodes, but yeah. If my diamond painting journey had chapters, what would each chapter be called? I would say during sickness. Part 1 is during sickness. Part 2 is recovery and healing. And part 3 is keeping on, keeping on. And that's the stage that we're at right now. And I'm happy with that. And I don't know. We'll see what the next stage brings. I don't think it's ready for a new chapter with my diamond painting right now. I think, well, maybe. We're just, I don't know. I kind of feel like, honestly, now I feel like talking about some stuff. So maybe it is the start of a new chapter. I recently became an affiliate for Trabrix. So shout out to Cat Eared with the Trabrix, because you can get these amazing trays that I'm using are from Cat Eared Trabrix. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. This tray is a spill-proof tray. When it's locked, you can throw it. You can drop it on the floor. It's not gonna pop open. I have a cat, and she is very naughty sometimes, and I love her, but she is a cat, and she pushes things off the table, and she pushes things off the shelf. And so having the Trabrix has been really wonderful. Not only that, but I like the tray system where I can easily switch between colors. I have a tray for each color, and it's just wonderful. So on cateared.com, if you use my code, which I get commission for it, but if you use my code, the word Jennifer, Jennifer, you will get a 10% discount on Trabrix. And I'm an affiliate for them now. So I'm proud of that. So that might be part of my new chapter. And then also I have started making aura sheets. Aura sheets are an anti-static sheet, which I've cut this one up, but they're scented, and they're also anti-static. And you just place them in each tray, or when they're full sheets, or even just a little sheet, you can wipe them around the trays and prevent static, especially when the drills are first coming out of the kit. You know, it just takes that static away. It's got anti-static spray on it. And they smell wonderful too, so then your kit smells wonderful. I'm not sensitive to scents, but I do have an unscented type as well. So, you know, if those are popular, that might be part of my new chapter too. But I'm selling them on Etsy. The link is in my link tree. If you go to etsy.com/dawn2dusk.com, I mean, not .com, dawn to dusk oh geez, the link is in my link tree on YouTube. I'm new to Etsy, kind of like for having a shop, so I have to figure out what my URL is still. It's not like a domain name, it's like an Etsy URL. So anyways, so that might take me into a new era of diamond painting. Also, I'm creating diamond painting content again. Like, I took a year off, at least, from diamond painting content. And I'm back, baby. I'm back. So, that's kind of been really kind of cool. I'm actually having a lot of fun with this. And for me, content isn't really, I don't really like doing whip and chats and unboxings and hauls. Like, those videos are okay, and I do watch them occasionally, especially certain creators. Like, shout out to House of Miscellanea, and there's a few others. I really enjoy reading about tools and reviews, and enjoy reading, or not reading, watching, sorry, not reading. I enjoy watching opinion videos about certain topics, but not so much about just how beautiful the artwork is. I enjoy watching canvas unboxings occasionally, especially from small shops or new to me shops. But overall, I get really bored with a lot of the diamond painting content. And that's why I'm trying to do Dottin Bursts with my own content spin as something that I don't see. Like my philosophy with content in this chapter is kind of like, what do I look for in videos when I watch diamond painting videos, and what does not exist or exists only on a small scale and we need more of them. And I feel like I'm kind of working with something here. And it's not perfect. Nothing is perfect. And I'm not saying that I'm better than someone who just does unboxings and hauls and stuff like that. Like, I don't want to be like that. I really appreciate that there's space for everyone. But my content flavor is doing like Dottin Bursts and self-discovery, because it's positive for me. It's beneficial for me. It's with the content that I'm looking for. And if you have similar content, oh my God, if I haven't discovered you yet, please hook it up. Let's get in contact. Let's somehow get me subscribed to you too. So, yeah, definitely drop a note, comment, my email, a DM on Discord, something. I really, really need new videos to watch. So, and I'm almost done this section. I'm almost done my questions too. So, what version of myself shows up when I'm deeply focused on a canvas? Which version of myself shows up when I'm deeply focused on a canvas? I think a persistent one. I'm just kind of absorbing this. I'm like, oops, I just closed that. I'm like, well, what am I like right now? But like right now I'm kind of introspective. I'm trying to think of questions and answers that are to do with Dottin Burst and self-discovery. But I do that a lot when I'm diamond painting, like just being with my own thoughts. So I don't know what you'd call that other than just my strong self, you know? In a way, my strong self is diamond painting right now. If I stopped diamond painting tomorrow, what would I miss the most? Probably the texture. I know that sounds bizarre, but there's a certain sensory aspect of diamond painting that satisfies my physical need to touch things sometimes. And I I love my cat. She's soft. I love playing with like stress toys. I don't have a Neato. I don't have a squishy slime or anything like that. But those stress balls have always been really, really fun for me. And diamond painting especially has just a beautiful texture on the canvas. And I think I would really miss that. I actually think I would miss that the most. Isn't that sort of bizarre? I just surprised myself with that answer. Isn't it funny how your brain goes to places that you don't even know until you get there? And the last question for this Dottin Burst Part 1, Part 2. Years from now, what do I hope diamond painting will represent in my story? I hope it brings something together in my story that is very like cohesive. Like it all fits together. There's like a pattern. Like it's consistent, you know, like, oh, you can see how diamond painting carried her through the years. Once she got onto that Dottin Burst, she really got dot in those little dots, you know? I don't know. That's kind of silliness. But it's true, though. Like, if I could say, I hope that diamond painting brings something to my life, I hope it brings consistency and cohesiveness. All right, I'm just going to finish this section. I'm probably going to turn the camera off, but I'm just about to finish the section and then the row. And then I'm going to take a whip picture and I will probably upload this a little bit later. I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you for sharing this time with me. And again, if you feel inspired to, leave a comment, a reply, share your answers to the questions, use them as a tool in your own journals, your own videos, do a spin-off series. I don't know, something. Do something for personal growth today because it's so fun and it's so important. I trust that you guys are diamond painting and that you're growing and you're doing things that are good things today. I hope you have a great day or night, wherever you are, and I'll see you again soon. Bye. Oh yeah, this canvas, I forgot to introduce it. It's Close Encounters from Diamond Art Club. The artist is Scott Howden, and I'm about 3/4 of the way finished. So there'll be a whip picture posted on my Instagram soon. And then probably on Discord, if you're in the Discords with me. Maybe even on Reddit. I might post something on Reddit too. Anyways, bye guys and gals. Love you. Thank you so much for all the support, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.